when the temperatures drop below zero, well, the mission doesn't just stop, does it?
No, absolutely not.
And every movement in that kind of cold, whether you're in the Middle East or, say, Latin America, it can turn standard gear discomfort, numb fingers, fatigue, into a serious operational hazard.
Exactly. It's catastrophic potential.
So today we're really digging into the technical specs, the requirements that shift defense teams from just surviving the cold into, well, full operational readiness.
Yeah, that's the core challenge right there.
Yeah.
And procurement decisions have got to address this harsh reality.
Right.
I mean, you look at examples like insulated law enforcement jackets that worked well in Argentina, or specialized winter police uniforms down in Chile.
Mm-hmm.
The difference between success and, frankly, mission collapse often comes down to the actual gear, the thread count, so to speak.
So let's zero in on that fundamental threat, the measurable impact of severe cold on the operator. We know if you don't have proper thermal defense, the core body temperature starts to drop, and that leads to slowed reflexes, reduced thinking ability.
Cognitive function, yeah.
And just a rapid decline in endurance. It happens fast.
And if cold is the enemy here, then the defense has to be structured. It demands really a 3-layer system.
3 layers.
And if any single layer fails, the whole system is compromised. So first, that thermal base layer, its job is to aggressively wick sweat away from the skin.
Crucial.
Then the insulating midweight layer could be fleece, could be special wool blends that traps the body heat.
Right, the insulation part.
And finally, that outer shell, that has to be the absolute barrier.
Yeah.
We're talking extremely waterproof and windproof protection, nothing less.
Okay, so for the procurement officers listening, the crucial step seems to be moving past just descriptions like warm and getting right down to the metrics, the numbers that prove genuine value.
Yes.
What quantifiable standards should they really be prioritizing?
Well, first off, insulation performance. You need advanced fabrics, maybe wool blends, with what's called a CLO rating of 2.0 or higher.
A fail rating, okay.
Yeah, CLO. It's the industry standard measure for how well a textile resists heat loss. And that 2.0 threshold is basically non-negotiable for keeping heat in.
And that's even when the gear gets wet.
Especially when it gets wet. That's critical, even in places you might not expect, like sudden cold snaps in, say, Saudi Arabia. It has to perform when damp.
And moisture management. That feels like a two-sided battle, doesn't it? You're keeping external water out, but you also have to deal with internal sweat.
Precisely. It's a balancing act. To push that internal sweat vapor out, the gear needs a high MVTR, that's moisture vapor transmission rate. We're talking over 5,000 grams per square meter per 24 hours.
5,000 geometers, 24 hours.
Okay. But at the same time, to keep rain and snow out, you need high hydrostatic head ratings. Think above 10,000 millimeters.
10,000 millimeter.
If you skimp on either of those specs, the wear gets wet, either from the inside or the outside. And that just accelerates hypothermia.
Okay, but these high specs, CLO 2.0 plus high MVTR, high hydrostatic head.
That sounds like it could get pretty expensive, right? If a unit is only operating in, let's say, marginally cold places, is investing in this top-tier gear really worth the cost? Isn't that overkill sometimes?
It's a fair question, but what's fascinating here is that premium gear isn't really a luxury in these contexts. It's an operational safeguard.
A safeguard? How so?
Well, look beyond just insulation. Think about the tactical needs. Mobility, durability. Your gear needs ripstop weaves to handle rough environments.
Right.
But it also needs strategic stretch panels, gussets, things that ensure a full range of motion for the operator. You can't be restricted.
And camouflage too, presumably.
Absolutely. Can't forget camouflage. You need snow-adapted patterns, white and gray palettes for effective concealment in environments from, say, Lesotho all the way to Northern Europe.
So let's look at some solutions that meet these tough constraints. We're seeing base layers now using cooling and dry fabrics, designed to actively manage sweat before significant heat loss happens. Exactly. Proactive moisture management. And the details, they really matter. Take gloves, for instance.
Right.
We now have technical gloves that are touchscreen compatible, but still maintain dexterity way down at minus 20 degrees Celsius.
Impressive.
And boots. They need ergonomic designs, reinforced soles, seriously anti-slip for snow and ice. Mm-hmm. And crucially, for international bulk procurement, all these components, they must adhere strictly to established ISO standards. Consistency is key.
The high cost of failure really drives this point home, doesn't it? There's that case study I recall of a unit whose jackets were advertised as waterproof.
Right, but they lacked sufficient breathability, low MVTR.
So the internal moisture just froze.
It froze. Rapidly lowered core temperatures, a disaster waiting to happen. That lack of breathability led directly to critical situations. And you couple that with gloves that lost effective grip on weapon systems in just 20 minutes.
20 minutes, wow.
Mission effectiveness just collapsed.
Yep.
Instantly. Substandard equipment doesn't just make a mission harder, it completely undermines strategic planning. It forces commanders into reactive mode, suddenly managing survival instead of achieving objectives.
So wrapping this up, what does this all mean for you, the defense decision maker listening in? If we bring this technical talk back to mission readiness, the core message seems clear. Understanding the science of thermal layering is what keeps operators effective.
It ensures operational readiness. And maybe the final provocative question you need to ask yourself is this. How much risk is your current equipment inventory actually introducing into your next mission in an extreme environment?
That's definitely something worth mulling over. We invite you to stay tuned for our next deep dive. We'll be exploring how to build resilient gear setups that work effectively in extreme environments all year round.